I've actually come to believe it really is true that that a good high school needs a very, very, very good principal. And it needs a very good principal, mostly to set a tone and help to create a climate in which faculty are encouraged and excited about these things.
So you said that the principal is crucial. The principal sets the tone, establishes the culture, reinforces the culture, sets the standards, and influences the behavior of adults and children.
Yeah, I mean, and there's two things. One, they do that hopefully without micromanaging, right? Hopefully via encouragement and like A, for their own sanity, like principals just don't have time, but B, teachers need to feel trusted. I mean, teachers are alone most of the time, right? And they're just not alone, but they're alone from other adults most of the day.
Yep,
right?
They're locked up with the kids all day long.
And so there's not, if they feel like someone's breathing on their neck all the time, you really need, it's a complicated relationship. And that's why, and I'm sure you and others know this even better than I do, but there's actually really interesting literature on teacher mentoring within schools, mentor teachers, department chairs, really sort of thinking about mentoring across the career of a teacher. And then, but the second thing principals do, which is also very, very important, is they protect their staff from the latest fashions, of which I hope I hope my article doesn't become one. I mean, much as I would like for my article to be influential, I want principals to do what they're passionate about. And the last thing I want is for teachers to have, yet another fashionable new idea for teaching this or that thing that they're forced to do. And so don't get me wrong, I think innovation can be helpful. I think best practices are helpful. I think it's often a good idea to shake things up. But if schools aren't careful, they'll be reinventing the wheel every single year because someone read a new management book or something. Yeah. And so
there is no question that teachers get whipsawed by constant changes in legislation and rules from state governments, the federal government, and school districts.
So it's legislative changes, but it's also kind of like just fashion.
Yes, absolutely. The place is awash in new ideas.
And so the one thing principals are able to do is to sort of, it's almost like a good principal or a good administrative team, which is about more than just the principal, obviously. It's like they're stirring batter and they're just really slowly pouring in the next ingredient so it gets mixed in well, right? They're not just dropping it in. Right. And so, if there is some new idea, like maybe this book or whatever, they're kind of able to really just keep a coherent culture going and just kind of gradually put that cocoa or whatever else in, right? They're not constantly forcing everyone to change everything all the time and sort of create. And so that's one thing, that they can create a culture from inside, but also they can keep the kind of outside pressure from being too much. And so they can also run interference with parents. There's a bunch of things that like a good administrative staff does that gives, because this is another really key thing. Ultimately, the point of interface of moral development of kids is almost always teachers and guidance counselors. So to the degree that principals and administrative staff can free teachers up to do that, it creates a world of difference. I mean, it's just a completely different school. And so, really helping to create a culture, helping to make teachers feel themselves free and agentic, right, is really, really, is, I'd say, more important than anything else.